Okay, so Charlamagne is the donkey himself?
No.
No?
You always want to know who Charlamagne the God's donkey of the day is. Okay.
You got a picture of him.
Yes. Charlamagne the God says, for some strange reason, there are Fox News and all these other news people, even black people, he said. And he brought in Yo Killer Mike. You'll know this one because you took up for Killer Mike.
Well,
because they're not saying who they're voting for. Remember, I asked you that.
mm-hmm.
Who is Killer Mike voting for?
He didn't say.
They have been pegged, him and Killer Mike, as anti-Biden, and also saying that they pushing a Russia agenda and that they are trying to get black people to not vote for Biden. And Charlamagne said, why can't you say something negative about Biden?
Constructive criticism.
And not be labeled Trumpster or somebody who's trying to get black people not to vote.
Thank you.
And I feel like that because I talk negative about Biden.
But you know what? Like Sarah on The View. We're independent.
Yes.
Why does an independent need to tell you what side they on?
Thank you.
We're independent for that reason.
So he said black people are just as bad as Trump and the Trumpsters.
Thank you.
By trying to put all black people in one category.
Thank you.
If you're not for Biden, then you have got to be for Trump.
So
why do I have to be for Trump if I'm not for Biden?
But you know what? That's what they were talking about too on The View. What about the independent candidates? You got Cornell.
Thank you.
You got, what's his name, Kennedy?
Were they talking about Cornell?
It doesn't matter.
This is what Charlamagne said.
Oh, God.
They pretty much said, and they pretty much asked him, and he said this, which is what I've said on this show. The way that I talk about Trump, if it's Trump and Biden at the end, do I literally have to say, I'm not voting for Trump? It's obvious. If I'm saying he's a maniac and he's going to destroy the country, and then the next guy I'm saying is Sleepy Joe and he's just a bozo, who am I going to vote for? A bozo or the guy I think that's going to destroy the country?
But no, think about this. And they bring it up a lot on these shows.
What?
You have a third party. It's not a strong one. That's why some people were mad when Cornell and them were running for an independent.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And Sarah was saying, and in her opinion, she's independent. So she is weighing her options. But a lot of times with what's going on now, dang, we really have no choice if we're not doing Trump.
This is what.
But it's not obviously, it would be Biden.
This is what the Democrats are saying. And they're saying this about Charlamagne and Killer Mike and all of them.
Okay.
When you say stuff like, we don't care who you vote for, whatever. That is a vote for Trump. If you vote an independent or if you don't vote or whatever, you're voting for Trump. That's what they're saying. So when you tell black people, that's what Charlamagne is saying, these young black guys who are influential, you influence them. Don't vote for who you want to. You don't have to vote for Biden. You're basically telling them that Trump is going to win.
Like the third party don't exist.
Exactly. And Charlamagne is saying it's nothing wrong with being critical of the Democrats because it's starting to plant a seed in black people. You don't have to be Democrat.
Right.
Do you know how white people in the South became Republicans? I was looking at a history of this. Because remember, the white Southern people were Democrats.
Blacks were mainly Republican.
Back in the day.
At the start of voting.
And remember, poor white people or people that was in the South were Democrats. Those were the KKK and all of them.
Right.
They were Democrats. They said that, who changed that?
Who?
Billy Graham. They said Billy Graham is the leader of the white conservative Christian vote.
Wow.
And he was a Democrat.
Wow.
And he switched over when Reagan. And white people in the South said Christian.
The
Bible Belt followed Billy Graham.
Wow.
And they said that's why Trump is upset with his son, because he hasn't endorsed him yet.
Whose son?
Billy Graham's son hasn't endorsed Trump yet. They think that the Billy Graham,
because he's trying to get the problem,
evangelicals.
The issue that Trump is still having to overcome are the evangelical people and the independents.
So he's afraid of. They said that they think Billy Graham's son he's going to go for him, but he's holding out because he wants to hear. What is Trump going to do for evangelicals?
He's not going to do anything. He's not going to say anything.
Now
he's not doing any.
In the last,
what do you call it when they talk debates?
Right. Mm-hmm. In the last election, I'm talking not this last one when he lost. Mm-hmm. The other one when he won.
When he first won,
they needed him because they needed the Supreme Court to be conservative,
and he put 2 of them in.
3.
Right?
3.
I thought it was 2.
Now they don't need him anymore.
Mm-mm. Nope.
And he's also
in the Roe versus the turnover.
Yes,
with that. So he's done.
They used him.
He set the course.
Thank you
for a lot of evangelical policies in place.
And the problem that he has now is that he's a scuzzbucket, and they don't want to put their name behind him. The man got all these indictments, mug shots, the E. Jean Carroll thing. Yeah. You a Christian and you put your name behind that?
That's why a lot of people who are strong Democrats are saying the Republican Party is not what it used to stand for in the Reagan days.
Thank you.
With the Billy Graham. Thank you for saying that.
That's what I said. It was Billy Graham.
Because one thing, my mom watches Billy Graham, and one thing about him is he's really straightforward.
Yep.
As far as his walk with the Lord and who God is and be family and
pro-life
and all of that.
Pat, the 700 Club, before he died, he wasn't positive about Trump.
No, he wasn't.
So right now they said they're going to end up going with him because they don't have no choice.
Paula White anymore, who was big on Trump. Right.
But they're going to go with him because they don't have no choice.
And Copeland.
But they're waiting.
No, that's not true.
No, they're waiting.
I don't think they're going to go with him. They're not going to tell you.
No, they're going to tell it. They say he's going to give it. Once Nikki Haley is out and Trump clinches the
will
the
it
nominee.
Surprise you if he doesn't?
Yes.
Why?
Because for me, a lot of times these televangelists want money, and if he is the president of the United States, that gives them access to more money. That's how I look at it. But anyway, that don't either here or there. Plus, his opponent would be Biden. They're not going with somebody that supports transgender and abortion and all this other stuff. So they don't have no choice. That's what I'm saying. But I think they're holding out.
But
I think they're holding out and waiting to see, like Nikki Haley, if something's going to happen to him. And then they'll support Nikki Haley.
Like he really, really gets arrested or something.
I think they're waiting. They're holding out.
He's really charged and or if something mentally happens to him where he
don't know.
Talk off the cuff.
They don't know.
Like he talking now and it gets worse.
I think they're waiting. Everybody's waiting. It's like, let's just wait.
Well, it goes back to what I said, and I've been saying all to everybody listening with the gentleman who wrote that book that was on The View. Mm-hmm. He says if the door is open for Trump to become president and the evangelicals are flowing with it, that means that evangelicals, you're not using wisdom, because if the door is open and God allows him to be, that means it may not be because he's the best man,
right? Or
for policies. Yeah. It could be spiritual. Yeah. It's for judgment. And then you will feel the kick in your butt once it happens.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. So that's it. That was basically all that under Charlamagne.
Wow.
He gives the people in politics donkeys of the day.
Yeah, because and
the news media, they get donkey of the day.
They kept bothering Killer Mike. And Killer Mike is like, you know what? I'm not telling y'all right now with the crazy circus going on. There's a circus going on. I'm not telling you who I'm voting for.
Charlamagne said, he went out and just said it. If common sense, he's voting for Biden. He's just not going to say it.
Killer Mike ain't saying
nothing. He said and neither am I. He said, but people have to hear you say it. It's like if it's Donald Trump and Biden at the end, obviously I'm voting for Biden.
But you still got that third party.
Right.
There's people, I want you to exercise your vote. Even if you go and vote for Cornell or for the Kennedy guy, or there's a lady too.
Yeah.
That's running. exercise
She
your
running
vote.
she's running Williams or something. She's running for Democrat.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
I thought she was independent.
No.
So
independent is the FK guy. Kennedy.
It's more than 2 people though. So I gotta look and see who are the independent
Cornell.
And then 2, that's a private thing. I don't think you need to share who you voting for, even if you got in people's eyes the lesser of 2 evils. In people's eyes, I don't know. Some people may not see Biden that way.
Yeah,
but you don't need to tell when you go in that booth. That booth is private.
So we'll see.
So
all right, so that was his donkey of the day. Okay, so you know who the donkey of the day.
So the politicians and the media.
The politicians and the media.
That's funny. Who
keeps saying that him and
Killer Mike
and it's black people too. He showed black people on MSNBC and all of that saying that him and Killer Mike are horrible because they're leading black people down the wrong.
I would ask the black people, "You're not going to vote for Cornell?"
No, because they don't. No, because that's a vote for Trump in their mind. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was it. Okay. Don't forget to